Hawkfanatic.com is brought to you by Big Dog Tech Solutions. Dr. Lance Forbes, Diamond Dental in Cedar Rapids. Streets Maintenance, doing remodeling and plumbing. The Oxyoke Inn in the Amanas. Premier Automotive in North Liberty. Senior Benefits. Diamond Dreams Sports Academy. Harty and Stocker Jewelers, 101 South Dubuque Street, downtown Iowa City. The Midtown Family Restaurants. Suple's Flowers, the home of 1-800-800-ROSE. GT Carr and his crew at Suple's Building and Remodeling. Mike's E-Keys for cars. Steve Anderson, Hawkeye Title and Settlement. And Patrick Eads and his staff at Deary Brothers Ford. Here's Tom Suter and Pat Harty from Hawkfanatic.com.
We are here. We're ready. The sun is shining. Does not look like there's any rain immediately. Looks good to me.
Yeah, looks nice. But it's supposed to rain.
When?
This afternoon and tonight.
It's probably like a 4% chance. What's the percentage? We never hear that unless it's high.
40% chance today, 30% tonight.
So there's a 70% chance it won't rain today.
That's true.
It's kind of high like that.
That's not the way to look at it.
Well, I know it's not. If you want people to
huge
tune in for
chance.
Weather updates.
Huge chance.
You want people to head for the hills.
So
this isn't going to be severe.
So you're suggesting, though, just in case,
just rain.
But to listen to KCJJ for updates.
What, just rain? No. We're not going to update when it rains.
So you won't have Tommy and Molly underneath the desk?
No, it's going to just rain. It's no big
Maybe. There's a chance. There's a better chance it won't.
Yeah, there's a good
That's
chance.
kind of how I look at it. Didn't we get more rain last night?
I don't know.
Yeah, we did.
Yes,
when I woke up, my street had standing water. Yeah, I think the drought's over. My neighborhood couldn't be any more green.
No, for sure.
I got to mow my backyard again. It was like 4 days ago I mowed it the last time. So definitely spring, but I love this time of year.
Yeah, I do too.
No,
and nice. Especially when the temperatures, I don't need it in the 80s right now. Mid-60s to 70 is perfect.
That's going to be in the 70s next week.
70s are fine. We just don't need 80s yet. Yeah. It's early May. 2 days.
It is what it is.
2 days until Caitlin.
Yeah.
Is that how are you counting them hours, minutes?
No, but I am looking forward to it.
Are you?
Oh, yeah.
I can tell. I'm pretty sure Dallas is too. And, yeah, it should be.
No, it'll be something different. Be something fun.
The thing is, though, we don't know how much. Do we have any idea how much she's going to play?
None.
I mean, it is a preseason game. I know they probably want to win, and they don't have a big preseason schedule with WNBA, but, I mean, still, I doubt she's going to play 38, 40 minutes, would she?
I don't know, because they have so many new pieces that maybe she needs to play more to get start to develop cohesiveness. So it can go either way.
And maybe they're PR savvy enough to know if you're going to have her play in a couple exhibition games, it should be the one where she's back at her alma mater.
Yeah, and it's going to be more than, an 8-minute cameo.
Can you imagine, though, if she ended up playing like 7 minutes? Wouldn't fans boo?
Fans would be very upset.
They'd be pissed.
And rightfully so, I think. So.
Well, I guess.
I'm guessing she'll play somewhere between 20 and 30 minutes. Which, if she plays 30, that's a big chunk of the game.
I would say.
What does she average?
The upper end of that.
And we have nothing to base it on.
Other than last year. And they're a different team.
Yeah, it's a completely different circumstance. Yeah. And I don't remember how much she played in exhibition games last year because I don't remember any of their exhibition games last year.
She played a lot.
So you specifically remember their exhibition?
Yes.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you what happened in any of their exhibition games.
Yes, and I watched all of their games.
Yeah, I watched their games that were on, most of their games that were on TV. I don't believe I watched exhibition games. Were there exhibition games on TV? Okay, then how'd you watch them?
I didn't watch them. They had.
Oh, I thought you just said you watched all their games.
I watched all their games, or regular season games. Yes.
But yeah, I mean, none of us know. We're just talking. None of us have any idea what's going to happen.
It's going to rain.
Sunday, it's going to rain?
No.
Sunday, it's not supposed to rain?
No, it's not supposed to rain Sunday.
Okay.
And you're inside, so.
Yeah, and I'm not convinced it's going to rain today.
Well, let's bet on it.
No. But there's been countless times where I've been told it was going to be worse than it was, and then I leave, and it's nothing like what I hear it's going to be. from you. So I'm used to divided.
Are you saying that
I'm
my
saying you
credibility?
No, I'm just saying you exaggerate the weather.
In the question.
I'm saying you tend to. What's the word, Suter?
It's going to be one huge downpour.
You tend to look at the glass half empty when it comes to the weather.
No, I look at it half full of rain.
Okay.
And I tend to look upon it as the meteorological science is non-specific. You don't know for sure.
But I will give them credit, though. They're usually pretty accurate.
I think they've gotten much better as time
and what's
has
amazing
gone
to
on.
me is how they get the temperature stuff right. You know, they'll tell you it's going to be 80, it's going to be really hot and humid on Tuesday, and then there's going to be a cold spill. And then the last couple times they've been very accurate.
No, they have. It's gotten much more scientific, I think.
Question for you, Pat.
What's that?
If it were to rain a lot tomorrow, would they move the Musco thing indoors, or do they just cancel it?
Good question. Should have asked Mike. I have no idea. I would imagine if they had enough forewarning that it was going to be they would probably move some stuff inside. But there's only so much you can do inside too.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think Mike Stein can throw the javelin inside, can he?
No, but the weather
some of the
stuff
stuff
has got me worried now.
So, well, yeah. I mean, he said there's a
monsoon. The word monsoon, I think, was used.
There's a 9% chance of rain on Saturday, right?
There's no chance of rain on Saturday.
Okay, then the Musco,
Especially if they're indoors.
the Musco meat will be saved.
Okay.
Then.
Hello.
Isn't javelin today?
Hello.
Hey,
Yes, the javelin's today at
They
noon.
called off the softball game the other day because of rain, and there wasn't one drop of rain the whole time that they would have been playing.
yeah, I thought they really jumped the gun on
Was
that.
there lightning?
There was nothing.
Nothing.
No. They're probably
It was
listening to this
just
channel.
cloudy. But
They're-
you and I tends to
It
do
was
that.
softball.
They were getting their updates from this channel. Oh man, KCJJ said it's coming. Everybody, get out of here! Run for your lives.
I was wondering, the other night when I watched the Cubs and the Pirates, some fan fell out of the
Yeah.
seat 21 feet down below, and he's still in critical
Yeah.
condition, they said.
Hit his
Yeah.
head.
Now, they didn't show any of that on TV. They just showed the players sitting around looking over towards it. And when that football player had his attack, they showed the whole thing about him. So what was the reason why they didn't show the fan?
Well, the football players happened on the playing field. But the camera was already on it. The fan happened. I mean, I've seen video of the guy falling. It's all over
Yeah.
Twitter.
Oh, I've seen the video.
But no,
yeah.
I mean the camera was already on the field where Hamlin collapsed. So I don't get your question.
Yeah.
Well, I just wondering why they didn't show.
Because they
Because
didn't.
they didn't have the
They didn't
camera
have the
trained
video.
on him.
They weren't
Was
shooting
that
that.
because of the privacy of the fan.
No,
No.
I'm guessing it's because they
No.
weren't shooting that particular part
Yeah.
of the stadium where he fell.
Yeah, they
I
did.
mean, Hamlin collapsed on the field of the play where the action was being filmed.
No, they didn't have the camera on that part of the field.
Well, but you can always move cameras.
Well, yes, you
but
can, but you have to know in advance.
You'd have to. Oh, hey, there's going to be a guy falling out of section, so get the camera up there. I don't
I
get what
mean,
you're.
you fall pretty fast.
Yeah, that happened like in a second and a half, and there are shots of him in the background of television cameras. You can see it. I've seen.
But, I mean, I was just wondering why they didn't just pan over there and say.
Well,
because it happened too fast.
It happened in like a second, Carl.
yeah. I mean, you
no,
can't.
but I mean afterwards when the ambulance and stuff were out there taking him off.
Well, you'll have to talk to the director.
I did
about
see
that.
video of him being taken off. I've seen it all over the place.
Well, yeah, but that wasn't during the game. During the game, they made sure that all they showed were the players sitting on the field.
Well, how do you know they even had camera? I mean, it happened. He fell behind the fence. You couldn't see anything unless one of the TV cameramen, I guess, would move their position and go and run out there. To compare it to Hamlin, though, makes no sense. It happened. If that guy would have collapsed on the middle of the field, it would have been shown. But he fell behind the fence in a far part of the stadium, and I don't know. We've had some weird conversations before, but this one, I don't get this one.
Well, I don't get your answer either.
Well, I don't get what you're. I don't.
All right, okay. After he fell, you're saying after he fell, why didn't they show him?
Why didn't they show the people or the ambulance and everybody over there?
Who's to say they even had the right camera angle to show it where he fell? Because he fell behind the fence at the bottom.
Well, here, I'll give you what they probably.
He fell down.
Karn, I saw it. Yes, I know. I've seen multiple videos of it. Yes,
I would say they didn't show it live because somebody might have recognized him immediately. It's a privacy issue.
Well, that's what I was wondering.
But with the Hamlin thing, they would have had to have gone back to this. What are you going to show if you're not showing the middle of the field where the camera is? I mean, that's what I'm saying. They would have to have I guess they could have cut back to the studio and not shown the field or I guess they could have panned and just showed fans looking on from the stadium. But the Hamlin comparison, that's what I'm saying, just doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I mean, I'm just not following you. Hamlin's happened right on the playing field.
Well, yeah, it's happening on the playing field, but the announcers just kept talking for about 5 minutes while they were out there, and they just kept showing the players just sitting on the field. And if they just moved the camera over, you could have seen.
Well, maybe they didn't want to.
Yeah, they
didn't
didn't
want to show that.
Yeah, they
but
don't want to.
I just was wondering, was it for the privacy of the person?
It was very, very possible.
None of us know. Yeah. We don't know.
If you want to blame someone, Trump.
Why Trump?
Why not?
He's not a very good cameraman.
But no, I still think it would have involved moving some camera angles.
No, it wouldn't have, because it was right out there in the center.
No, it wasn't right out. It was behind the fence where he fell. I mean, I've seen the video multiple times, and I have seen video of him from television stations of him being carried off the field with his head wrapped up in an immobilizer. I've seen all that. I mean, it's not like it hasn't been shown.
Yeah, but they
all right, no, I'm done. I'm done. What about the softball? I think they're going to win today. How's that?
I think they are too.
Sure not. But anyway, yes, softball. Let's hope they win today.
And Karn will be there.
Have a good day. And is it supposed to rain?
There's a chance.
My phone says after 2 p.m. it's supposed to rain.
Well, there you go. Now, were you at the Iowa State game?
Yes, I was.
I was too. I thought it was a good game.
The band was there, and
yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, and then I went up to the baseball game afterwards.
Well, you're a better man than I.
Okay.
We didn't go.
All right. Well, have a good day.
Thanks, Karen.
Bye.
That was a weird conversation.
It was. It's okay.
Ruth Buzzy died.
Did she really?
Yeah. And I don't know why they didn't.
The one with the purse that used to hit people with their purse.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't.
Do you believe in
I still am sticking to it was a lot easier to show the Hamlin thing right there in the middle of the field where the cameras were, as opposed to where this guy fell off into the. I don't know. Was she suggesting some type of conspiracy or something?
I'm not sure. She wanted to see something different than what she saw. Let's put it that way. I think that's a fair statement.
I don't think they're going to.
And I don't need to. If they're worried the guy's dying right there from a head injury, I don't need to see it. Well, I didn't need to see the Hamlin stuff either.
That's the whole thing. They don't know. They're not going to show that.
See, I think that's it.
They don't show streakers. They don't show any of that stuff.
Yeah.
And when people run on the field, they've all.
Yeah.
I've
but
always
they're not going to show somebody that just.
I've never understood that philosophy, though. Hey, if we don't show them, this will stop. Well, it doesn't seem to stop. Show them. I think it's funny. Some of the ones, the fans that run around, and finally a player says enough and then just decks them. Remember Mike Curtis?
Yes.
Mike Curtis was. You remember?
No, they don't do that with girl streakers,
No,
though.
Mike Curtis, not with Morgana, but Mike Curtis was a linebacker for the Colts way back. And
I remember.
Some fan ran out there, and his teammates were pissed at him, and he's like, "Hey, screw you guys! That guy, this is where we work." And it was interesting. He knocked that fan.
No, I was with him.
I was kind of agreed with Curtis. You don't need to run on the field.
No.
And I don't know. What's weird, though, is the video of that fan. Watch him right before he falls. It's almost like I don't know. It's just a whole. Though I haven't read any. I just know that he suffered a critical head injury, right?
Yeah, and they're not going to show. They're just not.
But Karn does bring up a point. All they showed with Hamlin was all the doctors around him and the camera from away, because they literally what else would they show when you're broadcasting a game when something happens right on the playing field?
No, that's all you can do.
I guess they would have. I guess they could have cut back to the studio or just showed stuff. Whereas, like with the baseball thing, they just stuck the camera on the field. It's just now had Hamlin collapsed, like on the sideline or in a tunnel on the way to halftime? My guess is we wouldn't have seen near as
Probably
much of
not.
it. So I think a lot of it was just the circumstance. But
I like this comment. If Carl wants to see something gruesome, she could watch a Licklider game.
she probably did from start to finish.
I'm sure she did. Hello.
Hey guys, you guys pretty much said what I was going to say. I think when I transitioned from streams to phones, but yeah, that probably deals with all the networks have a policy they're not showing fans on the field.
Probably.
Yeah, doing that. They've had that policy for years, decades.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's part of it, and the other part is probably it's no different than the best example I give is that during Formula One races, they have all these cameras on the drivers, and if one's in a crash, they have the video available and they're watching it before they're going to show any of that.
Mm-hmm.
Same situation. You got medical personnel on the field. They probably knew, the director, the producer probably knew, this is pretty serious. We're not going to show any of that. So that's all it is.
Probably true.
But now Hamlin's situation was obviously serious too, but they didn't really. All they showed was the field from a distance, if I remember correctly,
And a bunch of
people around him.
yes.
But really, what else could they have shown? Is what I'm saying in that situation. But I agree with you, caller. You're right.
Anyway. Oh, back to the Hawks.
So,
All right.
Jerry,
I will
Jerry,
say-
you calling from a tunnel in New York?
Yeah, I'm actually a tunnel in Hampton Roads, Virginia.
Okay.
It's Sam on the Outer Banks, by the way. I'm on the road today.
Oh, hey.
I'm just going to go ahead and start this. I heard someone say this week, Duke and Carolina to the Big Ten in 2031. When the grant of rights ends, which is this whole media deal that the schools have in the ACC, then it's going to be Duke and Carolina to the Big Ten in 2031.
Well,
what do you think?
Time will tell.
2031. That's 6 years from now. I can't even think beyond 6 hours.
I know. It was just.
I'll tell you what. I wouldn't want.
Here.
So that's another Carolina and Duke. Wouldn't you rather have Notre Dame?
Yeah, but evidently Notre Dame not very interested.
They must not be because I mean Carolina, now that they're not very good in basketball, they don't really bring much to and they could get better in basketball again. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, that would be interesting, but man, it's a long way. 6 years is a long time.
It
I
is.
might be playing a harp.
No, you'll be right there.
And a lot can be happening in 6 years. Who knows?
You'll be right there.
No, saying it's gonna rain.
It's gonna rain.
Stay off the app. Stay off the app, Steve. I'll talk to y'all later.
Hey, take care, man.
But yeah, and a lot of that, if I remember correctly, wasn't running on the field and streaking really big in the early mid-'70s?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that was the reaction to all that stuff. I mean, I was barely old enough but I just remember people running on the field all the time. It always seemed like skinny white guys with long hippie hair back in the 70s.
Usually, and they never really showed anything.
No, they would not show it. They would purposely go away from showing it.
And any of the girl streakers, they wouldn't show at all.
They did show Morgana. Remember when she kissed Cal Ripken?
Yeah, but she was clothed, though, wasn't she?
Well, yeah, she was clothed,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
God, could you imagine if she wasn't? Good. The camera guy's just fighting, not showing. I want to show this. The producers, no, you can't. You'll be fired.
Would have been divine.
Oh, God. Don't even go there. That's the first movie I saw when I went to Drake. They were showing it at the Rathskeller. Some divine movie. I'm like, what the hell, Mom? Why am I at this college? It ended up being okay, though. I did not understand why that movie was made available, though. I'm not in. Are you a Divine fan?
No.
I'm not either.
No.
Are you?
I mean, I don't care. I don't
make
care the film, but I don't want to watch it.
I don't want to watch it. Divine has nothing.
Dead, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
So he wasn't divine.
Gigi Allen was better than Divine, wouldn't you say?
No.
Oh, you like Divine better than Gigi Allen?
No, neither.
Well, if you had to pick one.
I'd have to go with Gigi only because I like that one song.
That one song.
Have you heard all of Divine's work? I don't think you
No,
have.
I don't believe I
No.
have.
What, Divine was a drag queen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I just remember that they had some movie at Drake, and I made it through about 15 minutes, and I'm like, I'm out of here.
Have you ever been to a drag show?
No.
I have.
I never have.
And actually, it was extremely entertaining.
I don't have anything against them.
I'm sure they,
Are you a big RuPaul fan?
The only drag show,
but
Brad used to do that.
Yeah.
There was, he went up to Anthony and he goes, "I'm a very pretty girl." And Anthony went chest to chest with him, looked him in the eye, looked him in the eye, and said, "No, you're not."
Well, Anthony didn't go chest
How
to
did he go
chest
chest
with
to
him
chest
unless
with
he
him?
was on a table.
Okay, well,
on a stool
but
or
he
a-
went, but he was right again.
Yeah.
It would have been more like face to groin, which is kind of unpleasant.
Well, he was
to
a
think.
little taller.
Back to the Hawks.
Back to the Divine Hawks.
But no, I have not heard any updates on the fan other than to say they said it was a critical head injury.
Yeah. Yep.
And the fall was, what'd you say? He fell about 20 feet?
Well, I think they said 21.
And it was right onto concrete, wasn't it? I believe.
Well, he hit the fence before he.
He did, and didn't his head hit first though on the ground? It looked like from the. There's a clear video that's out on social media that shows the entire 2 seconds of him falling.
I haven't.
And then I've
looked
seen
that
another
closely.
video where there's somebody right above him. They show him being taken out on a gurney or stretcher, and they've got his head all.
I did.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I don't know if alcohol played a factor. I mean, it could have. Who knows? I just hope that he's okay. That's sad to be at a sporting event and then all of a sudden be in a life or death
I
situation.
mean, it does happen, but it's very rare.
Very rare.
So
but it does happen.
You
You're right.
kind of have to go out of your way to have your balance be so precarious.
Well, that's what I said. The video, Captain Google, you can find it on.
Yeah, I don't want to.
But it's just weird how it's almost like he was catapulted, and it just I don't know.
It's and they're going to get sued, and it's going to be
Who the
stadium.
yeah probably, but that's a tough one. Yeah. Well, we'll see the circumstances. I mean, what can the stadium do besides tell you not?
Yeah,
I mean,
I know but when I went to NASCAR,
can't put everybody in a safety harness.
It's been like 10 years since I went to NASCAR Daytona NASCAR, and those stand. And I hate heights. I don't like heights either at all. I hate them. And they expanded the Daytona, and I mean, there's just no room, and it feels like it goes straight up.
Well, when I see heights on something on television, it bugs me.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that uneasy feeling. No, I've never been able to handle heights, and I've got a little bit of claustrophobia too. I can't handle. They show these people going through these little tunnels and stuff. I don't know how they do it. It just freaked me out. But no, that's an unfortunate situation. Have you ever seen anything serious in an Iowa game? Anything like
I've seen a number of times where the medical personnel have to rush,
or like a heart attack
yes.
or somebody, but you haven't seen anyone like fall or like stumble down bleachers or anything get seriously hurt?
Yeah, but it's been a long time.
I am surprised that doesn't happen.
I am too.
Because of alcohol, and they don't have arm railings, do they?
No, and I'll tell you what, there was a Purdue game a number of years ago, the second to the last week of the season. There was a big snowstorm the night before, and the stairs were all ice. So there was walking. We only had like 10 rows to walk down, but you're walking on ice.
So did the university, were you guys all warned as you were coming in? Or because, man, that's putting their university in a pretty...
I'll tell you,
I don't know.
They really do need, banisters.
Oh, yes, they do. Karn,
they have them in the north end zone as part of the
hasn't Karn
renovation.
bitched about that? And I agree with her on that. I mean, they need to have arm railings for any fan, but let alone people like us and I agree with her on that.
I mean, they have them at Carver.
Yes,
I know, but they don't have.
It is weird they don't have them at football. And maybe that's maybe that'll be I wrote today, and I've written at times. They have 6 months. Move the student section courtside.
I read your article.
Do it in the next. Now morning. Is the time to do it.
I read it last
night. I
night.
still say if they do that, and I do think there'll be 500 to 1,000 students, men and women, that will be decked out in the white. But don't you think that's going to be?
It will become a thing.
And if you move the student section, put up bleachers. You don't want them to sit. You want them to stand. Put up metal, cheap bleachers. And so when you start showing Iowa basketball, and they show the panorama scene where they go from one end of the court to the other, and you see both benches, what will you see right behind both benches? The students.
No, I'm there.
That's what they need to do. And I'm no construction expert by any means, but doesn't common sense tell you something that minor could be done in 6 months? putting bleachers up, and maybe
sure.
if you have to do a little bit of
It could be done in 6 hours.
I think you may have to do a little bit of configuring down, but yeah, the bleachers could be put up, but there may have to be a little bit of construction. I'm sure it's not as easy as I'm making it out to be, but I think the time is now. They need to seize this moment. And by the time that first game, who do they play? Murray State in the season opener?
No, Albany.
No, I'm talking about
basketball. I'm not sure.
I thought it was Murray State or somebody, but that
has that been decided?
I think so. That season opener, though, they need to have that thing ready to go because I know those students are going to be wearing white button-down shirts and they're going to be wearing ties. Yeah. I have a feeling they're going to do that, and so we'll see. I mean, I've written this before, and I mean, Beth has brought it up. She's talked about it, and we don't know how much it's being discussed now. There could be a lot more going on than I even know. But I just think it's now the time is right to do this. We've been talking about it for years. They never did it for Fran. Do it for Ben.
Yeah, I hope they do.
Yeah. The students have to feel like they matter, and right now they don't matter. They're an afterthought during games on television.
And I imagine that the issue is that if you put up
donors,
so you're going to block those seats.
There's got to be a way to appease them. There's got to be a way, and some of these donors also have to understand we need to improve this game day atmosphere, and if I have to maybe move my seat up to 10 rows to the right a little bit, let's do it. Hopefully they
give them a Carver cone every game.
Yeah, or something. Give them something. But I still think you can move ticket holders and donors who may be affected by this. You can move them to still good seats. There's enough good seats.
Yeah.
And just get the students, get them behind that visiting bench so they can become. You want them to be a distraction, and you want them to create a hostile environment that doesn't cross the line of behavior. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sports hostile. I'm not saying, spitting and throwing stuff and,
baseball bat.
I'm not talking about Altamont or anything. I'm just saying have it become more than what it is because right now they're not getting any energy from their students.
No, none whatsoever. And look, every comment you hear opposing teams say about Kinnick Stadium, it's intimidating because the fans are right there.
Right there. And do these fans that bitch about people standing at Carver, I'm done with you people. And there's a lot of them, Tom. There's a lot of people that don't want people standing at Carver. And I just don't get that.
I don't want people standing all game if there's no reason to be
Well,
standing.
Nobody's going to stand. Well, some
they do.
I mean, some fan bases do stand from
yes,
start
they
to
do.
See, I can't knock that. That is energy and locking in on your team and loving and supporting your team. I mean, where I'm situated in press row, I'm in the very front row, which is not – it sounds like it might be a good seat, but it's not really. The best seat would be about the second or third row because when the fans right in front of me stand up, I can't see anything. I have to stand up, or I just look at the video board. And at first it annoyed me, but I remember saying to myself, man, these are fans paying money to be here. And I remember one of the kids turned around and said, hey, man, sorry. I'm like, hey, don't worry about it. You're a fan. You're paying your money. Stand all you want. And ever since then, he thinks that's really cool because I know there was a scout that was sitting next to me, an NBA scout. I think it was to look at Keegan Murray. And he was sitting right next to me, and he wasn't real friendly. And we talked a little bit. And right away, the fan stood, and he's like, hey, what's this? And I'm like, fan support? And then I saw him going and talking to Sports Information. He lasted like 10 seconds. He ended up moving to a way far up high. He didn't want that's fine. But I'm not going to criticize fans for standing. You can't. You need that energy.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. You need that energy.
And it has, and that energy is one of the reasons it was lacking, and Fran's not here anymore.
Yes, it's a main reason.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, going back to back, had they made the NCAA tournament this year, my guess is Fran would still probably be here, but they didn't.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't make it for the last 2 years.
No.
But no, I get a lot of this, I just get tired of people standing at Carver. Well, there's hardly anyone there anyway, so, I mean, it just seems like there's always finding things to complain.
And there's the biggest part of the problem. There was nobody there.
Yeah. So if the 8 people there and 6 of them are standing, deal with it.
Well, Ann and I were 2 of them.
Yeah. I mean, do you guys stand for most of the game?
No.
But you don't bitch and moan at people that do, though, do you?
No, but if there's no reason to stand, then sit down.
Yeah, but how do you decide for other people when?
If there's no play going on, sit down.
Well, why would you care if there's no play going on? If somebody's standing, you're not being...
Well, then they remain standing the whole time, and I don't like.
See, that's where if that's what they do, they've earned that right. They're paying, and they're excited about being there.
Okay,
that's just the way it is.
Okay,
but you're also talking to somebody who doesn't go to stuff like that. I mean, I'm there working. If I wasn't working, I'd be at home watching, so I wouldn't have to deal with crap like that. People complaining in each ways. I just
And the other thing is, like, okay, let's say at a football game, we got 6 people in one row standing up. You can't see over them, and nobody else in the area is standing up. There's really no. Why are you standing up?
because they want to.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, I
that
don't
would be
want them to.
I know, but they want to, and to me, that's kind of their right.
And there's certainly nothing that you can do about it. That's part of the deal. If you go to a game, people are going to stand.
They're going to do what they want. Now, if they were
That's
standing
right.
up and turning around and taunting you and doing, that's different. But if they're just standing because they're excited and that's just what they want to do, I mean, I just can't find fault. But again, I don't put myself in those situations. Mm-hmm. If I didn't do this for a living, I wouldn't be anywhere near Kinnick on Saturday. I'd be home watching because I'm not a tailgater and I'm not one of these guys. Unless it's a good rock concert, I don't want to be in a big stadium filled with a bunch of people. I never really have.
Okay, so
Pink Floyd, Roger Waters starts screaming.
no. Okay, you're at a rock concert.
Yeah.
And people are.
If they're standing, I have no problem because I'd be standing. I don't sit at rock concerts.
But you go up front.
Well, it depends on where my seats are.
Yeah.
Most of the, there's been a few concerts where I've been up front, but, like when Alpine Valley and stuff like that, no, I usually don't. But I don't rarely remember going to many concerts where people were sitting.
I'll have to say the last time we saw McCartney in the Quad Cities.
I bet a lot of people were sitting because they were like 90.
The opposite.
Oh, really?
They
Good
stood
for
up
them. Good for
the
them.
entire time.
Now, were you okay with that?
No.
See, I wouldn't have a problem with it. I would have stood the whole time. I can't sit and listen to music. I'd rather stand.
Okay.
Like when I was at Red Rocks listening to Steely Dan, I don't remember sitting at all. Grateful Dead, you don't go to Grateful Dead concerts and sit on your ass.
No, you fall on your ass.
No,
You walk out early.
No, you don't. I went to probably.
I was at a.
You went to one Dead show, didn't you?
Yeah, they were falling on their ass. So don't. No.
Oh,
and when they do stand, they're wobbly.
Yeah, because they're wasted.
Yes. They really, a lot of them.
Oh, well, most of them.
Yeah.
And hey, whatever.
Well, you wonder, I go, these people are going to drive home. A
lot of them walk or don't. I mean, a lot of them probably end up sleeping under a tree wherever the concert was.
That's true, too.
Yeah. I mean, I got a little tired of at the end, last Dead shows I went to was in June of 94. I just remember a lot of people asking for money. Filthy people. They got all their tie-dye and their beads. They love their dead, but they need somebody to pay for their... Screw you.
We got that crap when we were in Coralville from that hugging...
the Ama or whatever her name was.
The hugging
you're just
woman.
a hater, man. Jerry, love, they try to guilt you into giving them money because the dead was all about love.
I don't recall Jerry being out front handing
out money.
greenbacks.
No, I'm not going to give you money.
Yeah, the hugging lady brought these people. Just one couple. I got there like at 3:45.
The hugging lady.
She
was at the Marriott at the time, right?
Yeah, and she gives you a hug, and it's supposed to be some religious thing or something.
Please.
And so,
and didn't you have to pay for that?
Yes. Well, you donate, but I mean, she
donate to what?
It was the most ridiculous thing, and the people are in these.
So people showed up to hug her?
Yes.
Oh, tons of
thousands.
Yeah. Seriously, thousands.
No wonder we are where we are.
And so I get to work at 3:45, and there's all these vans out there. And then I hear a knock on the back door. Hey, can I take a shower? And we don't have I said, we don't have a shower.
So that was when you were at the radio station in Coralville?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody actually knocked on you.
Knocked on the door and wanted to take a shower.
At
least they wanted to take a shower. Well, I don't have a shower. I said, we don't have a shower. Well, can I use the restroom? No. No. I said, get away.
Go away. I'm with you.
That's what I said.
Go away.
Yeah.
Do you think he stood or sat when he was hugged?
Huh?
Had he already been hugged?
I don't know. It's
not at 4 a.m.
I took transcendental meditation.
I just
to see what it was like, And it's like, why don't you just go take a nap?
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Were
Just
you
be
able to
quiet and chill.
Were you
Yeah.
able to float after that? Could you levitate?
only after my chili dogs.
Okay. Okay.
God, I had a great chili dog.
From Marcos, I had one of theirs a
Marcos.
couple weeks ago.
God, it was
No, my mom used to make great chili. She loved chili dogs.
it was. I had that yesterday.
Yeah, I've had their chili dog and I've had their Chicago dog, and I'm just not a huge hot dog fan.
I'm not either.
I got to have a bunch of crap on it to sort of disguise the fact that I'm eating a hot dog.
Oh, it's a.
And if you put enough chili and cheese and onion on it, then you don't even know you're eating a hot dog. You bite in.
I'd have to do without the onion, but
I love hot dogs.
They got a good Chicago dog too, but no, hot dogs themselves are just.
Love
see, I don't like big fat hot dogs.
They're just kind of
love
sick.
big fat. I love big fat hot dogs. This could be a rap song.
It might be.
It probably is.
So should we take a break?
Yes, please.
It's already 9:45.
Yeah. All right, we'll be right back.
1-800-800-ROSE. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist is the only number you need to know to send flowers anywhere in the country or Canada from anywhere in the country. 1-800-800-ROSE. It's so easy. Just remember one number. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist. 1-800-800-ROSE. Remember.
For a gift that your loved one will treasure for a lifetime, find it at our family-owned jewelry store in Iowa City, Hertine and Stocker Jewelers.
We can show you diamond engagement rings, colored stones, fashion jewelry, and watches.
Our jewelers are on site, so we can design jewelry for that special person in your life.
We are Hertine and Stocker, serving Iowa City and the surrounding area for 3 generations.
Hertine and Stocker Jewelers, downtown Iowa City, and HertineandStockerJewelers.com. Ask for Willa, Terry, Tim, or Kate. One of us is always there.
Don't wait for an emergency to get a backup for your car keys. Unlike the olden days, car keys have gotten extremely complex. Mike's eKeys for Cars can generate the most technically advanced automotive keys that are on the market today. For spares and lost keys, Mike's eKeys for Cars can produce most conventional transponder, high security, and remote head keys. Mike's eKeys for Cars will keep you on the road. Call 319-330-9185 and schedule an appointment today. Don't wait until it's too late. Call 319-330-9185 today.
You take great care to maintain your home or business inside and out. But maybe, just maybe, there's something missing. Something that makes your home stand out among the others in your neighborhood. Something that makes your business pop and increases traffic. Something that you can change and customize at your command. Well, there's a solution, and that's Illuminlight's permanent outdoor lighting from Big Dog Tech. Illuminlights provides illumination for every occasion. Holiday lighting, accent lights, security, and of course lighting for all your favorite sports. The Illuminlights app lets you create your own patterns with color, motion, brightness, and static control over every individual light, or use Big Dog's presets to transform your home or business. The professionally installed track system makes Illuminlight's LEDs virtually disappear until you turn them on. Rated at 50,000 hours, you'll enjoy stress-free convenience for years to come. For more information about Illuminlight's permanent outdoor lighting, go to BigDogTEK.net or give them a call at 319-395-0800. That's 319-395-0800.
Are you tired of living in a home that doesn't quite meet your needs? Then it's time to call the experts at Streets Maintenance. Their team of skilled professionals specializes in renovations and remodeling, transforming your home into the space you've always dreamed of. From kitchen and bath remodels to complete home renovations, no job is too big or too small. Streets Maintenance will work with you every step of the way to ensure your vision becomes a reality. So don't wait any longer. Call Streets Maintenance to schedule your consultation at 400-4483. Let's start building your dream home today.
Once upon a time in the land of the Hawkeyes, a business grew. A business that would become synonymous with real estate. Hi, I'm Steve Anderson of Hawkeye Title and Settlement. When you're buying or selling your home, you'll need title and settlement services. Consider the Hawkeye Title and Settlement team. Give us a call at 351-8600. Hawkeye Title and Settlement, the team you love, the people you trust.
Don't let just anyone take care of your smile. At Diamond Dental, you can expect compassion, expertise, and a personalized care plan to protect your teeth for life.
With more than 30 years of combined experience, Dr. Forbes and his staff are prepared to tackle even your toughest dental problems, leaving your smile healthy and sparkling. Diamond Dental offers a full range of general and cosmetic dentistry, as well as dental treatment options for snoring and sleep apnea. It's never too early to start thinking about what's best for your smile. Schedule an appointment today by calling 319-390-3703 or visiting the office at 5815 Consul Street Northeast, Suite D1 in Cedar Rapids. You can also visit DiamondDentalPC.com for more information. Dr. Forbes is a proud sponsor of the Hawkeye Wrestling Club and the Inner Circle. Let the Diamond Dental team provide superior care for your entire family.
This is Leah Pasha, and I've been saying, hit a deer, call Premier for years. But it's time for something new. It's still where you need to go for deer divots and door dings, as well as damaged dashboards. That's what my dad Nathan's driving at and dreams about. Why not say, when your car is dinged, be a deer and call Premier? I think Dad's going to love that. Premier Automotive, North Liberty's premier auto body repair shop.
Be a deer and call Premier Auto Body in North Liberty.
Diamond Dream Sports Academy 20,000 square foot indoor facility holds 8 batting cages, space for infield work, space for throwing and pitching and all your arm care needs. Offers private instruction, group lessons, camps and clinics, leagues, memberships. Rentals available at Diamond Dreams is open to the public.
Our top level instructors include former professional, college, and Olympic athletes. Our coaches will help these athletes achieve their full athletic potential, develop a strong work ethic, and a solid base to build. The last thing you want to do is look back and wish you had worked or played harder.
Locally owned and established in 2005, Diamond Dreams is Eastern Iowa's premier training facility. Located at 2905 Stoner Court, North Liberty. Call today and reserve your time. 319-665-2173. 319-665-2173.
When you go to a family restaurant, you want 3 things. 1, a wide selection of breakfast, lunch, and dinner items. 2, you want those selections to be affordable and delicious. And 3, you want to be treated like family. You get all 3 at the Midtown Family Restaurant. Breakfast items available anytime the doors are open. Legendary tenderloins, onion rings, and hot roast beef sandwiches. Daily specials at each location, and no matter if you're coming in solo or with a group of 20, you get the same special family treatment. The Midtown Family Restaurants at Court and Scott Streets and at the Walmart Plaza on Highway 1 West. Follow them on Facebook or at MidtownFamily.com. The family's waiting for you. GT Carr, owner of Supple's Building and Remodeling, has been offering unmatched service and quality for over 25 years. The trained professionals at Supple's Building and Remodeling will install and guarantee the products used in any job, no matter how big or small. They also stand behind their work and offer no-nonsense, exceptional customer service from design to completion and beyond. Whether it's a simple window replacement or a major house addition, you'll have the confidence that Supple's Building and Remodeling is committed to quality. Visit Supples.net or call them today at 319-337-2246.
Hi, this is Tiffany at Senior Benefits. Are you confused with Medicare questions, anything having to do with Medicare? I take care of all Medicare customers, people under 65. I also do life insurance, long-term care, cancer insurance. I'm here to help you navigate any questions that you may be having or frustrations and anxiety that you may have with Medicare or insurance in general. Give me, Tiffany Rao, a call at 319-631-4795.
We've said it for years. We want to give you our best price or most competitive price up front, and now Ford's brought that to the table.
Just makes you feel good.
Patrick Eads and Terry Adams with Deary Ford.
It's a true Ford employee pricing plan.
As if you work for Ford or you're a retiree from Ford.
You could walk in and buy a new Ford for less money than I could purchase one for.
I have never seen Ford do a sale like this.
The From America for America event through June 2nd.
Shop Deary Ford, Iowa City.
When we say here for you, we mean it.
It's a great deal.
At the Oxyoke Inn, we're ready to serve you with the same fresh food, prepared to order and served with a passion that you've come to expect for over 85 years. The Oxyoke Inn is serving our famous Sunday brunch buffet with lunch, dinner, family-style banquets, and carry-out daily. Make reservations at oxyokeinn.com or call for big or small tables and private rooms. We can't wait to serve you soon at the Oxyoke Inn.
The Oxyoke
in the heart of Amana.
From the Harty and Stalker Studios in the heart of the Hawkeye Nation, this is the mighty 1630 KCJJ, Iowa City.
Harty and Stalker Jewelers, making memories, making moments.
Some sunshine this morning, then gradually becoming mostly cloudy this afternoon with a few sprinkles or showers possible. Our high today, 62. The wind out of the northwest at 5 to 15. Tonight, partly cloudy, 45. Tomorrow, a few clouds in the morning, sunshine in the afternoon with a high in the low 60s. On Sunday, partly cloudy, a few sprinkles with a high in the upper 60s. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable on the mighty 1630 KCJJ. Outside now, it's 55.
KCJJ weather brought to you by Plum Supply.
Plum Supply kitchens and baths. Your home never looks so beautiful.
And we're back.
What?
Beef tallow, isn't that lard?
I would guess.
Okay. Well, they're cooking the fries at Steak and Shake now. It says, "Here we go, America. The day has finally arrived. Drive those Teslas to Steak and Shake and rejoice in tallow." And they're cooking their fries and stuff in tallow.
Yeah, so that's in animal fat instead of vegetable oil.
Yeah.
So is it supposed to be healthier?
No, it's tasty.
But I thought they were making America healthy again.
Well, they're not.
Yeah, when I think of health, I think of, Steak and Shake.
Well, they got gigantic, sodas and stuff.
Basically, I think
Shakes.
Freddy's is a little better version of Steak and Shake. Would that make sense? I think everything they have is just a little bit better.
I don't know. They're about the same, but
yeah, I can't.
I love Freddy's French fries.
But I will say McDonald's French fries in the 60s were
great.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And it was cooked in animal fat, and the reason they got away from it because it's not healthy.
Not healthy. Remember, Burger King's French fries used to be great, too, back
Yeah.
in the 70s and 80s. I loved them, and they got rid of those, and they haven't had them for years. No, French fries aren't really that healthy.
No, they're not, but they're more healthy in vegetable oil than they are in animal fat.
Yeah.
And there's your...
Yeah.
That's
I
your
don't care for
Dr. Suter.
You do remember those Burger King French fries I'm talking about?
Yeah.
though? God, they were good.
And you know who? Henry's.
Henry's had great French
French
fries.
fries.
Yes.
Yeah.
Henry's was the first burger joint I ever went to.
Yeah.
Because we used to have one on the corner of, what was it, Hickman and Merle Hay, right by Merle. It was right across the street, kitty corner from Merle Hay Mall. Henry's was.
We had one in Rock Island.
And there was a McDonald's right next to it.
Yeah.
And then a Pizza Hut right across the street. And I remember going to the Pizza Hut for the very first time and being amazed that we were sitting down and eating pizza at a place. I mean, that was different. When Pizza Hut opened up in the late, you didn't have that very often. It was just different eating something besides a hamburger or something out. And remember the red and white tablecloths, those red cups? I mean,
they did.
And now, do they even have Pizza Huts like that anymore?
Yeah.
Well, but they're getting away from them.
They're getting
Not
away.
many.
Yeah.
Do we have one here in town?
No.
We
used to over by where you by where you live, right?
Yeah.
Where the Popeye is now in its third year of construction is going up.
Yeah. Really.
I don't get it.
Well, look how long it took Marcos.
Well, they might. Yeah, but this is a building
different.
they're constructing. It's got to be a money thing. It really does have to be.
So what? They just stopped doing construction?
Yes.
Until they get
just
the
sitting
money.
And they stopped for about 6 months, and then they put up some bricks.
And then they stop again, and it's, yeah.
I mean, I'm guessing it would do huge. I'm sure the one out by the mall does a huge business.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I drive by it, it's packed.
No, it'll do a huge business.
KFC or Popeyes? Who you picking? If you had to eat just one. That's tough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't eaten at Popeyes in years, so
I haven't eaten
can't
it.
even remember.
I've eaten at Popeyes. I've had it a couple times in the last couple of years. It's really good.
It is good.
No, it's good.
I would probably take Popeyes chicken and KFC's mashed potatoes and gravy, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And the biscuits are both. I mean, but
I don't care for biscuits.
oh, I love biscuits if they're good. Not they got to be cooked well done, crispy. Not into the doughy biscuits. But dub that biscuit and dip it into gravy. Oh man, you're living the
I
good
don't
life.
like gravy.
Well, that's right. You don't like gravy. I can't even fathom that.
The only gravy I like is
wavy gravy. We've already been through this.
No, wavy gravy.
Is he still alive?
Yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah, we looked it up.
Well, we did that a couple years ago, didn't we? Yeah, though we would have heard if he died. I still can't figure out how somebody like that became famous in the 60s. What did he do? Did he just...
He was a spokesman at Woodstock.
Yeah.
Is that basically how he...
He walked around and he espoused...
But why did he become famous?
Because he was on Woodstock. He was on the movie.
Yeah, he was, and he walked. He did concert appearances, and
as what?
And he was the hippie. He represented hippies.
Okay.
And the hippie movement, I guess. Hello,
hippie movement.
Kind of like Tom.
What about Tom?
Said you're part of the hippie movement.
Yeah, never
The
was.
old hippie.
Never was.
I'm kidding you.
No, that's okay. I did have long hair. Did smoke pot.
Did
if
you
that
have
makes
bell
me
bottoms?
a hippie. No, but I had flares.
That's hippie. Hippie. Sideburns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boots with tassels
sorta.
up to your knees.
Only in the band.
Okay, you
Yeah,
were.
Those were the days.
Those were the days.
You did a little hippieing.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, I heard you talking about Henry's. You remember the one downtown Iowa City?
I
do not.
I think the Stacys owned it.
Before my time.
I had a friend who worked at Henry's, and he would come over after work with bags of burgers and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
It was all right.
Kentucky Fried Chicken used charcoals in Corville. My mom and dad knew them. They'd bring over buckets of chicken.
Yeah.
We had great burger wars, I can remember as a kid, where McDonald's had 15-cent burgers, and then Henry's did 11-cent burgers.
See, I thought Henry's were better.
Yeah.
I liked them better.
Yeah.
And you're right about the French fries.
I thought they were the same.
Their French fries were lights out.
I think Henry's was a little.
Aren't there a few Henry's left? You looked that up. There's not many. There's a few.
But there's a few.
Yeah.
And then we had Sandy's. And
I
then
remember Sandy's.
When the Big Mac came out, then Sandy's made their own.
A Big Sandy, right?
Yeah, the Big Sandy, which was like the Big Mac, except instead of lettuce, it had cabbage, and it had tartar sauce instead of.
Well, I never ate any of that crap.
That's gross.
Yeah, well, that's what it had.
Yeah, never ate any of that crap. I'm a burger guy. You don't need slaw on a burger.
Sauerkraut.
Pass.
Yeah.
Just on a brat. That's the only time I
Hey, guys, I get reception here. I'm at Lake Darling.
Yeah?
And I'm headed to Rathbun. I know when I get to the border of Missouri, I kind of lose you guys.
Yeah. Then you need to get the app on your phone.
Or stay out of Missouri.
Misery?
Download the app on your phone, Paul, and you can hear us all over the world.
Yep.
I got a flip phone.
Well, then have fun in Missouri and in silence.
I got to go. I just caught 25 crappies and gave them to an old man.
Oh, good for you.
All right. Well, you safe travels,
Oh, yeah.
Paul.
Yeah.
Adios.
A visit from Paul.
Yeah. With a flip phone.
God, I haven't seen one of those in ages.
Boy, when I got my first flip phone, I thought I was one hip son of a bitch.
Yeah.
What year was that?
I don't know.
Early 90s?
Probably. Mid-90s.
I was so cool in the 70s. I had a car phone like Gannon.
Why did you have a car phone?
Because there
deals going on. Just every second mattered.
Yes.
Every second mattered.
I was on the grid in the 70s.
You were operating.
Yeah.
Time was your co-pilot.
Yeah. I think it was early 80s one time, but I remember my mom hanging up the phone saying, I just talked to niece Bissers, and she was on a car phone. My mom was just thrilled.
What year was that? Probably
I can't
roughly?
remember.
70s?
I think maybe early 80s.
I mean, back then, that would have been.
Late 70s, early 80s.
That would have been highly unusual back then.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Had a Mustang Ghia and a car phone.
Wow, you were one happening son of a bitch.
Didn't you have like big wild hair too? And you wore bell bottoms and velour shirts and.
No, not velour. I didn't like velour.
But you had bell bottoms and high heels and. Didn't you? You look like Leo Sayer.
I heard, who the hell played it? I'm punching around, driving into work in some distant station, is playing Him and the Show Must Go On.
You guys are big
That
Leo
song.
Sayer fans, aren't you?
Puke.
You're not Leo Sayer fans?
He was doing long, tall glasses. Hello.
So, by the way, greetings from Tennessee, you guys. Hey, Captain, when you had your first phone, how many minutes did you get, like a month? You remember that?
No.
The first phone I had like that was 20 minutes a month.
I don't
So we
remember
only used
having
it for emergencies.
A month? Jesus.
God,
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I
don't remember having minute restrictions.
No.
But
I do.
But I could be wrong.
Absolutely.
I don't remember.
You bought
that
your
on my-
plans by the minute.
Well, my first cell phone
Well, I
was...
must bought.
You'd pay X amount of dollars if you bought a package of 100 minutes, pay X amount of dollars if you bought 300
Yeah,
minutes.
see, I never had a cell
Absolutely.
phone until the Press Citizen supplied me with one back in like the mid-'90s. The Press Citizen, so I never had to pay for anything.
I don't remember ever having something like that.
Yeah.
And I was
We did
on
that here.
car.
We have our
Well,
plan here.
okay, but when I had a car phone, it was different.
Think about that, though. At one
That
point,
was
the
in
Press
the
Citizen
70s.
not only had hundreds of employees, they used to supply their reporters with cell phones. Think about that.
Yeah.
How far away that is.
One thing we used to look forward to is the nights and weekends when you get to 9 o'clock on a Friday, and then all the minutes became unlimited.
I do remember that,
That was always
yeah.
a thing for us.
Yeah, that was cell phones, but the phone I had in my car in the 70s.
Was it probably as big as you?
No, it was as big as a phone. It was as big as the phones we have here, the landline.
Because it seems like some of those 70s car phones were massive.
Well, how about you having to wait until after 7 o'clock before you called? Yeah, I'll call you after 7.
Yeah, that was the thing, man. Once 6, 7. Well, they rolled it back to 6 eventually, but at 9 o'clock normally, man, my phone started getting blown up because all my friends started making calls, and here we're all sitting out on First Avenue in Cedar Rapids. We're cruising up and down the Ave, and we're all sitting on our cell phones, and we finally got to the nights and weekends part of it. And
No, were
that's what we all
landlines
look
cheaper
forward
after
to.
5 o'clock? Landlines,
The long distance.
Yeah, for the long distance,
Yeah.
weren't they cheaper after?
They were cheaper
Absolutely.
after like 7 and 9 too.
Because I remember one summer having a girlfriend, and I talked to her on the phone, and I remember my parents getting the phone bill, and I just remember my mom saying, "You got to be." Only time I think I've ever heard my mom say the F word. And I had like $230 worth of long distance calls.
Well, you were a player.
I was an idiot. I was a gullible
when my
moron.
grandson turned 7, we took and put a rotary phone in front of him and asked him if he could figure out how to make it work. Just confused the heck out of him. Had no idea how to make the phone work. I'm like, this is the phone I grew up on, or the first phone I ever saw in my life was a rotary dial phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Me too. Yeah. I mean, but I'll never forget that though. That was the summer of '84. $232 phone bill for a month. That's a lot of money
that's a
now.
lot.
And
It
back
is.
then, my dad was thrilled. He was very
I
pleased.
I paid like $100 a month, and it wasn't limited. And that in the 70s.
But this was just a long distance. That was a long distance charge to my parents. And it was.
Did you guys ever have a party line? Sorry, I didn't mean
Yes.
to
No,
step on you
I
there,
never
Pat.
did. No.
Yes. Yes, I remember as a kid.
My grandmother did.
And my parents had a party line, and you'd pick up the phone sometimes to try to call somebody, and somebody else's family talking.
My parents would never have done that. Not that I don't say it's good or bad. They just would not have done that.
You listen to
I'll give you one more thing real quick. So my aunt, my Aunt Goldie, she was the phone operator in North English.
Cool.
And so she knew everybody's business in town. There was nothing
Kind of like
that
Sarah
woman
on
didn't
Mayberry.
know, man. She knew everybody.
I'll bet.
Just trivia.
No, that's great. And the operators, they were the hub of misinformation and gossip.
God, it's amazing how much it's changed.
Yeah.
I almost
Yeah,
forgot
no
about
kidding.
long distance billing until we just started reminiscing about our phone experiences.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it's good talking to you guys. Thanks for keeping me company once again. I always appreciate it. And have a great weekend, and go Hawks.
All right, go Hawks. I never used a phone where you had to crank it.
No, I wasn't
and
that
have
old. No, I
never did one of those.
No. I remember, though, going from the rotary sitting on a desk to a phone hanging on a wall and being able to take the phone and walk, walk. I'm old enough to remember that evolution.
I'm old enough to remember every phone, rotary phone was black, and then AT&T came out with like colored
we had
phones, like Princess.
Yeah, we didn't have black. Yeah, they had different colors.
Yeah.
So they originally, though, they were all black?
They were all black. Yeah. Hello.
Hey, guys, Engineer Tim. How's it going today?
Hi, Tim. Okay.
Hey, Harty, I do have a picture of Captain where if you would put it side by side with Leo Sayer, it's an exact duplicate.
I'm telling you. I figured you did, and I'm sticking with that. Captain is Leo Sayer.
And I mean, I can't speak for Captain because he was always married, but back in the late 70s, early 80s, when we were at the station in Muscatine, I could walk up to a girl and say, "How you doing?" And she'd be like, "Oh, I'm pretty good," and the gals would respond. Well, now I'm going to be 65, and if I say, "How you doing?" they, like they're going to dial 911.
Well, you're 65 and not 25.
Yeah, you're 65.
I know, but I still look the same, I think.
Sure
No,
you do.
you don't.
Sure you do, Tim.
Yeah, whatever. Jesus.
See you later.
All right.
Wow.
I still look the same.
Sure
yeah, me
you
too. I still look the same, except for the wrinkles.
I still have my hair, but it's different color. It used to be blonde.
Yeah.
And when I was in high school and college, my hair was blonde. Now it's more brown. But, yeah, the Leo Sayer comparison is – didn't he – when I need –
Yeah,
No.
she's stuck. He stunk.
What, when I need
Stunk.
Is that Randy Van Warmer?
No.
No, I think it's Leo Sayer.
Yeah.
When I need – you know what song I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
And it's a bad song.
It's a real bad
It's a
song.
real bad song.
I
Real
just
bad.
heard.
Was
Wrong
he? You make me feel
Yes.
like dancing.
That's Leo Sayer, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
I want to pound your head in.
That's Leo Sayer. Is he in the Hall of Fame? I doubt it.
No.
He gets in before Little Feet. All right, back to the Hawks.
Puke.
Softball triple header not triple, 3-game series starting. What's tonight? 5:30.
Rutgers starting tonight at 5.
Okay, 5. I won't be going tonight. I am going to go. I'm definitely covering Sundays, maybe tomorrow's. They need to win all 3 of these. I mean,
Well, they're playing the last place team.
what,
You're
3?
at home.
And isn't Rutgers like 3-16?
Yes.
So yeah, they need to win all 3 of these games. I mean, they needed to do that against Michigan State too. Try to get the highest seed
3
possible.
and 18. Don't sell them short.
Oh, 3 and 18. Okay. So yeah, this is. My guess is they're going to have a really good crowd this weekend. And
Hope so.
It's going to be interesting to see what goes on with this national search for a softball coach. I mean, because there was a while where Iowa softball was one of the best programs in the country. Now that's a long time ago. Once they got rid of Gale,
Yeah,
it has been. But now they're showing some life, and it'll be interesting to see if Carl Golan, how much consideration he gets, because I think he's definitely deserves a chance if he's interested. But it will all depend on who applies for the job.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, if they, so it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. I mean, this is another hire that Beth's going to have to make. Beth's going to be pretty busy here in these next 1 to 3 years hiring coaches, I think, don't you?
Well, she's had to make 2 big hires already, and
now the Jensen one, any AD would have done it.
Probably, I assume so.
Now the McCollum one, I'm with you. That was a big hire. Now we don't know. I mean, I know it's the iClub circuit right now, and all the coverage you read makes it sound like Ben McCollum is, the second coming of Gandhi and John Wooden. And
well, since he has had no games as a Hawkeye.
But you know what I mean, though. The iClub
of
circuit, I mean, I read some of that stuff coming out of Central Iowa, and, I mean, I'm ready for Iowa to win the national title in both football and men's basketball.
And 31-4 in his 1 year at Drake was very impressive. And it doesn't necessarily going to translate here at all.
No, I will go out on a limb and say they're not going 31-4 this year.
No. Leo Sayer is still performing.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's 76.
Okay, so he's right about your age.
He's my age, and his net worth at one time was $8 million, but his manager screwed him over, And so,
think about that though. Leo Sayer was able to accumulate $8 million as a singer.
Yeah. Well, he's got
Did better than me.
He's got a house in South Wales, and
well, those songs that you're talking about, he's got 3 or 4 songs that were really popular.
Yeah.
Horrible songs, but popular.
Yeah.
And he probably made a lot of money on those songs. He was
Clearly.
mid to late 70s, I think, was Leo Sayer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but bad. And then
I
baseball.
Sure agree with you.
The baseball game, does it start at 8 o'clock tonight or 9 o'clock our time?
9 o'clock our time.
It won't get over till like 12:15.
9:02.
You'll be lucky if it gets
I'm not going to be able to stay awake to. I'm not going to be able to stay awake to post whatever Iowa sends because they may not even send anything till the next morning. But I'm going to monitor it. This big series, man. They need to.
It is
because I still think there's some doubters, not necessarily Iowa fans, but maybe on the outside, saying, "Okay, let's see what Iowa does in these next 3 series."
Well, these are going to be 3 of the best teams we've played.
Oh, the 3 best teams they've played. Yeah. I haven't really read up much on Oregon State this year, but they're always good. And Oregon we know is good, and Washington's 13-7. So I mean they're good too. And they'll be playing at home. It'll be interesting to see what kind of crowd is out there because if you're a Washington fan, you're out in Seattle, hey, wow, the Big Ten leader. I know Iowa baseball doesn't have like this huge reputation nationally, but they are leading the conference, so that may get some fans out there.
The question, I mean, I have no idea what kind of crowd Washington usually draws.
Rick did say they have a nice facility, and he did say they've got a pretty good fan base. I would think most of these West Coast schools that have played baseball probably have a decent amount of fans, but don't you think maybe the fact that the Big Ten leaders coming out here might bring a few more?
Maybe.
But if you're Iowa, you almost prefer that not happen. The fewer the fans, the better if you're Iowa. Not that baseball's a big fan where, you got a hostile environment like basketball. But no, this is a big series. They need to win this series.
Hope they do, and hope they do against Oregon as well. Oregon State.
I mean, no, that's just good, though. That'll be in Des Moines. That's a good way to promote Iowa baseball in Central Iowa. It's a neat event. I think that's cool that they're doing that. But now, if they lose this series, I told you, once they start playing good teams, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But, Tom, I'm not convinced, other than maybe UCLA and Oregon and outside of Iowa, that there are that many good teams in the Big Ten this year.
Well, clearly not. We're at the top, and we'll know more, as you said, in the next
But I don't think UCLA and Oregon, either one of those teams, are lights out either. I think they're good, but I don't think they're dominant machines that are unbeatable. I think Iowa can compete with those teams. I mean,
UCLA has lost 11 games this year.
And how many in conference? 5 or 6?
5.
Yeah, so, I mean...
Iowa's lost 12 games. So we're almost the same,
and
almost
4
identical
in
records.
conference. So Iowa's got 2 more. Isn't Iowa ahead of them by 2.5 games overall? Don't they have 2 more wins, or is it what are they?
We
now?
have 4 more wins than UCLA, and 1 less loss. So
how does that calculate? How many games are they technically?
2.5 games.
2.5. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, no, this is a lot still to be decided, but this is where you want to be. They're in position to win this conference, which hasn't happened since 1990. I wasn't here yet. You weren't even working at the station.
No,
yet.
I was still playing music.
Yeah, and I remember covering it. I mean, right there at Banks Field, 1990. Captain, you were in Muscatine then, weren't you?
Yeah.
1990.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this has been a fun spring.
I had no kids at that point.
What year was Molly born?
93.
93. Jesus.
I know.
That's 2 years after I moved up here. 93. That Alamo Bowl.
I came here in 94.
Yeah.
Remember the 93 Alamo Bowl?
I do.
What was it? I think it was 30. What was it, like 35-3? The only points scored by Brian Hurley on a field goal?
Yeah, we were not there. That was before we made any bowl trips.
That was the first bowl game that I covered for the Press Citizen. And all I remember is the photographer coming up to me after the game and saying, man, the California players were begging the Iowa players at halftime to play better because they traveled all the way, because the game was over at halftime. Yeah. It was just, California was they were way better than that bowl game, and Iowa made it into that bowl game by the seat of their pants. They were 6-5. That was not a very good team.
No.
And it was 37-3, I think, was the final of that game.
But I loved going to the Alamo Bowl. I thought it was great.
What was weird, too, I went to that bowl game in 92, and remember, that was coming off of 91 and 90. Now they had the 89. But I just assumed bowl games were just part of it. And then 94, and then 94, they didn't make a bowl game. Remember that? They went 5-5-1, didn't make a bowl game. in Dwight's first year on the team, and then they got back to the Sun Bowl the next year. Did you ever go to the Sun Bowl?
Yes, that was the first bowl game.
What did you think of El Paso?
Not much.
Yeah, I didn't think of it. It kind of reminded me of Tucson. The bowl itself, though, I liked. I liked the stadium. I liked the mountains right behind the stadium. I liked the way
that's the one. That's right across the street
from Juarez.
From Juarez.
Yeah.
So we went into Mexico, and Carolyn Supel was there, and they had all those kids selling the chiclets and pencils and stuff. And when Carolyn got back to the States, literally she kissed the ground.
Yeah, it was different. And I guarantee the Juarez that we saw in the 90s is a lot different now. I mean,
and there was a lot of ladies doing some work down
yes,
there.
and there was a lot of begging too. A lot of people begging for money.
Hello.
Yep. Hey, Cap. Hey, I heard you talking 1990 baseball. Dwayne Banks.
Yep.
They gave me a watch, and I still got it.
Why'd they give you a watch?
I was on the staff.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
What was your position?
I just set up events.
Oh, okay. You were on the event staff for the university. Okay. All right.
Oh, yeah, everything.
All right.
Cool.
And I got the 85 Rose Bowl watch, but I gave that to my nephew.
Okay.
Cool.
That was nice of you to give it to your nephew.
Yeah. If you had saved it, it'd be worth $150,000 now.
Millions. You could buy this station and put Captain in retirement.
Yeah. Why don't you do that?
Pass it on to your kids.
There you go.
My kids don't want it.
Pay it forward.
Yeah, sell it.
He's trying. Why don't you buy it?
Yeah. Break out that checkbook, facilities boy.
Yeah.
And then I'll tell you what, then you could play as much Tom Waits as you wanted.
Oh, God. Well, what's up today, Pat? Little Feet or?
No, there is no Little Feet. They don't play Little Feet here.
No, we don't play.
They don't play Little Feet here.
We do play.
Paul, they don't play much of my music
We
here.
play.
My music is discriminated against here. It's ridiculed. It's mocked.
We got a Little Feet song in here.
It's mocked. My music is mocked here.
It's not mocked. It's laughed at.
Hey, look, there's a Led Zeppelin fan. What a loser.
Well, hey, now, speaking of Led Zeppelin, Pat, I have some good news for you.
What's that?
It is now streaming.
Oh, okay.
I believe on Amazon for like $5.99.
Okay. No, I'm going to.
Wow, that did not.
No, they said now lower price.
Well, I never saw it streaming before at a
Zeppelin's
higher price.
been marked down.
Yeah,
I'll watch it. I will watch it.
I probably will.
Well, I've noticed before, Pat. They'll play a little Steely Dan right before you get in.
They do every once in a while. Yeah. They don't. No, we agree on Steely. Yeah. They do that to mock Mace. They play Steely Dan to go against Mace, right, Captain? Isn't that part of your motivation?
That's exactly why we play.
Yes.
Crazy Mace.
Yep.
Guys got a lot of BS to no end.
You got it, buddy. That's what it's all about.
BS.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Take care.
All right. That was Paul Chapter 2, Captain.
Yeah. There you go.
Tom Waits is a
Borderline Blues.
Tom Waits is a sore spot for him.
So I think that's a really good song.
It is.
I had not.
You play it?
Real good song.
I had not heard that song before you played it, and I thought it was.
No, it's a good song.
Excellent
it's a good
song.
How about Fat Man in the Bathtub?
Love Fat Man in the Bathtub.
I love all those songs.
I'm requesting that today. Play that.
Well, we don't.
You're not going to play it, but you know what you will play? You'll play Kings of Elroy. You'll
Kings of Elroy.
Or whatever they are.
What the hell?
My one buddy's just fascinated by the fact that I work for a top 40. He thinks it's the greatest thing in the world. And he thinks it's great that you guys make fun of my music. Because he said I was a music snob in college, and now I'm getting what I deserve. What do you guys think of that?
If you were getting what you deserve, I'd be playing Leo Sayer.
Oh, my Lord.
You played Leo Sayer when you got here.
No, the satellite played Leo Sayer.
Yeah, but it was playing after '94.
But wasn't he top 40?
Yeah, but he sucked.
They were playing.
Sorry.
We had a satellite.
Yeah, but he plays Break My Stride on this thing. That's top 40, and it sucks.
I don't play it.
Yes, it does.
How do you distinguish between the two?
I don't.
Who's playing Break? Is that Molly? Are we throwing Molly under the bus?
No.
Somebody's playing Break My Strider. I've heard it. Hunter?
Yeah, no.
Hunter.
It might be just the system.
Well, the system sucks.
Well.
The system of the down. Do you ever play them?
No. No. I don't care if it was a freaking hit. I don't care. And it's in there because it was a bona fide hit. We got the oldies that are in here came from Clear Channel, which became iHeart, when they thought they owned the station, and they sent us hard drives with the music.
I thought that was very nice of them.
No, you play
Touch of... until they fired me.
Is Touch of Grey the only Dead song you play? Or do you play Uncle John's
Estimated
Band? You play Estimated Profit. Do you play Uncle John's Band? So why do you play Estimated Profit but not Uncle John's? Is that just you?
It just comes into it was
because I love both songs, but Uncle John Band seems more top 40ish and commercial.
Is Estimated Profit is that California?
Yeah, my time coming any day now. Don't worry about me. I love that song.
Puts me to sleep.
California.
Well, that's a hell of an attitude.
It's on the Terrapin Station album. Do you ever play side B of Terrapin Station on here?
No.
It's like 30 minutes long.
No.
Great album. Play it.
Oh yeah. Why don't I just put it on?
Well, do you realize you could spend so much time in the bathroom if you played side B?
Why do you always have me just whacking in the bathroom?
Didn't say whacking. I never brought that up.
Well, that's what you're thinking.
No, I'm not. I was thinking relieving yourself. I was not thinking whacking whatsoever. I really wasn't. You're the one bringing this to the gutter. I've just seen you march back there before. You know, you have to go to the restroom. I get it. And, you know, you play Terrapin Station. You can go back there and contemplate.
Contemplate what?
I don't know.
Do we have a call?
Yes. Thank you, Suter.
Hey, Pat.
Oh, God. What?
Jesus.
You know how Bill Belichick got his girlfriend?
How?
He grabbed her in the portal.
Well, you guys will be the judge of that. Is that a pass or a fail?
Pass.
Okay, I was going to...
Yeah.
Captain, what do you
I
think?
would say so.
Sure.
That story's ridiculous. I mean, he's 51 years old.
Oh,
he's 50 years older
okay.
than her.
Yeah, and you take your girlfriend. It's Sunday
That
morning.
interview was so stupid.
Yeah, it's Sunday morning. It's a fluff show.
Yes.
You know, they're showing geese, for 15 minutes. And he say, well, she's going to control the interview? You're going to ask him. And it wasn't like...
Hey, there's your 24-year-old girlfriend. Can we... I mean...
It wasn't like they said, how come she's so young? He said, how did you guys meet? That's what he said.
I heard they met on an airplane.
Yeah.
She was working on some dissertation and sitting across the aisle from him, and they started talking, and then the next thing you know, they were in love. I know. Back then, she was like 22 or 21.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, she's 8 years younger than Molly. and he's 12 years older than me.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
I mean, what do they talk about?
And she's 6 years younger than Amy.
Oh, dang.
I mean, think about that. I mean, somebody's like, who do you blame for that? I don't know if you have to blame anyone, but if you're him, why would you not?
If you're her, what the hell?
5 years older than Charlie.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, let's get back to Tennessee, Jed.
There's a Grateful Dead reference.
This is Paul chapter 3.
Tennessee Jed. Love Tennessee Jed.
I like Tennessee Jed. Not one of my favorites, but I like it.
All right. I got to go to Fairfield where they fly on carpets.
What?
What's that?
Fairfield, Iowa, where they fly on carpets.
Maharishi.
Oh, there you go.
You go there and float in the air.
Yeah.
They listen to Tom Waits there.
Oh, Cap. All right. Carry on.
That was Paul chapter 3.
Jesus.
It was not Jesus.
No.
I think anything else Hawk-wise? They got the Tate Sage. He'd been a silent commit for a while. I was told the funny story, and I'm losing my mind. I acted surprised about the Tate, and then I was reminded by a couple of buddies of mine, we've said something to you about this like 4 or 5 times, like a month ago, that
it was going to happen.
I just forgot. I just completely forgot. But yeah, this kid has been waiting in the fold to get out of his letter of intent with Drake, and so he's a 6'7" wing player, and he averaged like, not a huge mega recruit or anything, but their roster now, they still need a big man, and I still think they're going to get one. But their roster's now 10 deep. I mean, you've got a pretty good idea of how they're going to play, how they're going to space the floor, and what have you. And trying to think if there's anything. Rob did a story on a 330-pound defensive lineman from Cleveland Glenville High School. Of course, he's probably going to end up going to Ohio State, but he likes Iowa. I mean, he really. And R.J. Perez, I think's his name. And he's like 6'4", 330. He's got like a 3.8 GPA. And Rob said he was a good interview. That's up on Hawkfanatic right now. We've got 4 or 5 good recruiting stories that are up right now, because May and June are going to be huge months for recruiting. And so we're going to do as much coverage as we can, and it'll be the only place where you can actually get free recruiting news. Free. And did you see that Rivals On 3 is kind of buying out Rivals?
I did hear that.
And it's going to turn Rivals into just strictly recruiting, and then On 3 will cover the Iowa stuff. So that's one less website to provide competition on the Iowa beat. I guess selfishly that doesn't
hurt you.
That doesn't hurt our situation, so we are the only one where you can get it for free, no subscription.
And getting it for free is great, ain't it?
Well, yeah, and to me though, it's not as much the money you spend. I don't like doing subscription sites because it's just another thing we have to give to all your bank, and a lot of them just renew without your notice a year later.
Well, and it is a problem because I just canceled Flow Hoops yesterday.
And how did you go about doing that? What did you have
to do?
It
was very easy to do, but I had bought it when the women
and
were
you
playing
forgot
their,
about it.
Yes.
So how many months did you pay where you had no use for it?
4.
And how much a month?
I think it was
30,
10 or
okay, so
13,
that's just $40-50 just down the drain.
Well, absolutely.
See, that's the problem.
I thought that was more than that.
No,
I thought, but
that
still,
would be for a year. They had a year option.
That's what happens, though, Tom.
$13 a month.
You forget about it.
Yeah, and I did.
What made you think about it?
Because Ann was looking it over. She said, "We're still getting charged for Flow Hoops." I said, "Seriously?"
Interesting.
She said, "Yep." I said, "Well, I'm going to cancel it right now," and I did.
And a lot of those people go years. You just don't recognize.
Absolutely.
It. But yeah, that's one nice thing. No subscription. I do have a company that same company. I'm going to get back to that guy on Monday. What we might do is we may try to experiment with like 1 or 2 programmatic ads for like a day or two, and then I'm going to ask feedback from our readers and see what they say. And if the readers say this sucks, I'm not going to do it. But now we got to figure out other revenue streams too.
If you do that for a couple days, good luck getting out of it for a couple days.
Well, I've already talked to this guy. Yeah, I've already talked to the guy, and he explained to me how it would be implemented and how it would be discontinued.
Same thing.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it'll be all right. You guys just went. It sounds like you guys just went all in.
No, we did not.
No.
Well, then how did you make $3,000?
They did it.
Oh, see, though I know. But I've told them what I want. There's 4 or 5
So did we.
Well, I've told them there's 4 or 5 different ways they implement it. And he gave each level. I want to do the entry level where there's no more than 1 or 2 ads, and you do it for a day, and then you see what the feedback is. And he told me that if I don't like he goes, it's a matter of doing one thing and they're done. And there's no contract. See, the people that are in business with this said just don't sign. This guy's never asked me to sign any. Did you guys? You guys didn't sign a contract.
No,
did you? No. He said it could be discontinued in 10 seconds.
Well,
that's how long.
So not that easy.
What did it take us?
I don't know.
It was at least 2 weeks.
But we didn't get what.
No, they didn't.
Not it. It's just they talked a great game, and it was not a good thing. That's all I can tell you.
But yeah, no, and I'm going to experiment because just because it didn't work for you, maybe it worked for us.
Well, maybe it will.
But who knows? But I also will see if it's not doing at least $1,000 a month. And he said with our traffic, it would easily do that. But if it's not doing at least that, I won't consider it. And more than likely, we won't do it. But I am going to listen to this guy, and because he's been persistent, he loves the fact that we're free.
You'll be very happy with it for 2 months. Very.
Yeah, I don't even know if it'll produce that kind of money, especially if I only do 1 ad. I may just do. You got to do it. You have to do at least one ad. That's their entry level thing. So we'll see. I mean, it's different, 4 different stages. And they said they represent over 400 different websites. So they're making it must be working for some people.
It's working for them. No, because people don't. I think people don't care. They sign up and they got a website, and even if they're making $400, they're making $400.
Well, if I'm making $1,000 a month, but I'm getting less readership and people bitching and moaning, that $1,000 a month loses a lot of its value.
Yes,
a lot of people don't watch.
He also did say the other thing that we have going is people come to our site for one thing. Different, like with your site, people come to your site for just all different types. He explained to me that they can zero their marketing. He explained to me why that's different. People come to my website for one thing, Hawkeye stuff.
Okay, and they come to our site for one thing, local news. I mean, that's what on the website. It's different than Facebook, where we're posting a bunch of stuff. On the website, we're just local news and some national headlines.
Oh, yeah, your local news of all different types of things. We're one thing, Hawkeyes. And he said our traffic is, he said when I gave him our traffic numbers, he's like, wow. He goes, that's a lot of traffic for free. And he goes, and he's saying but like I said, he never said anything about a contract. He never said anything about, having to do it for a certain, I go, what if I wanted to do it for a day? And he's like, it's just a matter, you get back to us and we turn it off. He goes, that's how it works. He said he was going to look into your guys' account,
but then
too.
You're also not going to make any money.
Well, no, but I don't care if I don't make any money if it's pissing off readers. And I think if I do it for 24 hours and get reader feedback, and they're like, yeah, I can live with this, then I'll keep with it. But if I get readers stopping going to our site, I don't think it will stop readers from going to our site because we're the only site that offers free Hawkeye sports. There's nobody else that does that.
Well, yeah, and I mean...
And no offense to you guys, but there's a lot of places where you can go for news.
Well, not for Iowa City news.
Well, you can go, I mean, there are some you can go to. I mean, whereas us, you can't go to any other place that's free Hawkeye news. Yeah. I mean, the Press Citizen does have news. The Gazette has news. I hear you guys refer to them a lot in your updates.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It's a different comparison. There's nobody that does what we do.
All I know is it was a pain in my ass.
Oh yeah, no, and that's what I shared the experience. You guys loved it for the first 2 months. You were raving about it. This is the greatest thing ever.
And then they completely changed what they did, and it
all of a
ruined
sudden,
our website.
Yeah, I mean, we had ads for the first couple months.
Oh, guys, I was here. I lived it. I remember listening to you.
But then all of a sudden there is, you couldn't even see it was all videos and crap popping up.
But that's how it is on every website that uses programmatic advertising. Have you been on Hawk Central? Have you been on the Gazette? Have you been on? No. They're all like that.
I've been on the
but
Gazette.
I don't.
I've been on the Gazette, and you can't. Yeah, you can't.
I don't read it.
You can't read it.
No,
but I'm just saying though, they're obviously some readers must be okay with it.
Except for the app, the website is full of ads and crap. It's like the Press Citizen, and I don't understand this. Their website's got all these ads on it. And then you go to the app, and it doesn't have, almost no apps.
Yes, I never go. I don't have any. I don't have any of those apps, so I wouldn't know. All I know is like if I go on the Gazette or Hawk Center or whatever, it's. And I told that guy too, and I said my experiences with programmatic advertising on other sites is it's very annoying, makes it very hard to read. He didn't really deny that. I mean, it wasn't, this guy wasn't argumentative. It was interesting the way he did acknowledge that it can create some problems. And like I said, to me, it's all going to decide on what my readers tell me, just like what you guys reacted to your readers.
Well,
but it took us a couple of months before we really got the definitive feedback.
Yeah, and then the thing that ended it is they put up a video of it's a MTV video of Tom Waits. And
that was it?
That was it.
Then our viewership just dropped.
Yeah.
Other than Paul.
Mostly they dropped from fentanyl overdoses, but I mean, it wasn't good.
But no, the thing is, the challenge, though, is with me, you got to figure out different revenue streams because you can only have so many ads on a site and you can only have so many podcast scripts in podcasts. I mean, if you have 15, 20 podcast scripts, the listeners aren't going to read all those. That's too many. No. So you got to come up with different ways to provide revenue streams. And obviously, for all the competition, it's being pay sites. But I don't want to do that yet. I don't want to become a pay site. But that's what everybody does. Pay site, programmatic advertising. That seems to be the answer for everybody now. And there's got to be a different way. And hopefully we can figure it out. Because like I said, our traffic's great. I mean, our traffic has been as high as it's ever been right now. And that's all these companies. Once I told him my traffic numbers, then I heard him calculate, hitting the keyboard, and he's punching in all this. Oh, well, based on those numbers, and I've told him, some months are busier than others. I mean, obviously July is not going to be as busy as November, and he gave me a scale of what he thought the money payments would range from. But again, it's not a couple $1,000s a month isn't worth it if you're alienating your readers. Because that's just not a good thing. So we'll see. The nice thing is, though, I will get feedback right away from people on social media. We'll announce if we do it. I'm not sure we're going to do it, but we'll be able to get feedback on Facebook and X, Twitter, right away from readers telling, hey, is this worth it? And if a bunch of them say, no, I'll stop going to your site, then of course I won't do it. But their only other alternative would be to go to sites that have the same thing that cost money. So where are they going to go? Well, there's not a site that covers Iowa that's either free and doesn't use.
It's whether
we're
they
the only
can
one.
Read your stuff or not. Well, you said you've gone to sites and the ad comes up and then you get rid of the ad and then it goes.
Oh yeah, that's why I don't. I go
top.
to other sites just to check on news, but the experience usually is so unpleasant that I don't stay on there very long. It buffers, and I find the story, but I can't actually find the story to click on and to read it because there's so much interference. I don't want that on my site, and I explained that to him. He claims it won't happen, but of course he's going to say that.
But that's what.
That's so what I'll have to see it for myself.
That's what he said to us.
Yeah, I'll have to see it for myself.
Not him, because I assume you're dealing.
But
with
they have guys.
No, this guy he had
job.
never heard of you, but he said that was somebody else must have handled. He goes, but if it was with us, he goes, I'll look it up, and when I call him back on Monday, he says hopefully he'll have some explanation as to, and it may just have been, no, this isn't going to work. He may not have some secret, remedy for what happened to you guys. And he wasn't overwhelming. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy when if I say no, he's going to be upset. He'll just move on. But somebody's keeping them in business.
Well, I mean, they're on a lot of crap. And if people don't care, they don't care.
But no, I am in a unique situation, though. If people complain to me, they can say, okay, well, I'm not going to keep coming to your site. My response to be, okay, then where are you going to go? You have no other option but to go to other sites that not only have the same type of advertising, but that charge you. So, like I said, I just want to try to make it as easy as I can for the readers. But at some point, you got to make some money, too. You can't, this isn't charity.
No.
And that's the challenge. Because you can only get so many pods, and there's only so much room for advertisement on the.
I just look at our website as driving people to the station, the listenership. I don't look at it like.
Yeah, but your radio airwaves are still your number one. When people think they don't think of your website, they think of this, and that's because you're a radio station. Yeah. But when people think of Hawkfanatic, they only have all we have is the web. We don't have anything else. That's it for us.
This is true.
But like I said, it's interesting though. This guy's been persistent, and but he was a nice guy to talk to. He was not, when you're just being jived, they're just basically just feeding you. This guy acknowledged that there are issues with it, and when I told him about your experience, he didn't deny it. He's like, I want to look into that and see why they had such an unpleasant experience. And he goes, I'll let you know what I get, and I'll let you guys know what he says. My guess is he's going to say things that confirmed all the issues you guys had. Because there's no denying that programmatic advertising provides clutter. It causes things to be harder to read. It just does.
Sure it does.
It just it's just a distraction. You're overwhelmed with ads, and some people don't like that when they're reading. But apparently some don't care because most people are using it.
Yeah. Well, I know that all the TV stations,
they all use
radio stations here are using.
Well, I remember Hawk Central when I was working there said we will never become a pay site. Well, they've been a pay site for years now because they ran out of ways to make money with advertising, and at some point we may get to that point. So, but we'll see. Like I said, that's part of the challenge.
All right. Anything else, boys?
Molly's here.
No.
No. We've talked all the Iowa stuff. I always think of stuff after we get off the air, but we mentioned softball, mentioned where baseball is. Track and field. Are they anywhere this weekend? what did Mike say they were going to?
Yeah, Musco.
Yeah, Musco. That's what. Yeah, Musco. Yeah, Mike's actually throwing. I'm going to actually go out and try to see him throw. I've got an appointment at 1:00 in Coralville. Didn't he say he's throwing today at noon?
Yes.
I'm going to try to go out there and watch him at least throw once or twice.
Yeah.
So yeah, Musco meets going on right now over at the Kretschmeyer track.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. Hawkfanatic.com. Check it out. It's free.
KCJ.